Hetapu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haroon Nefer, may Buddha bless you. This is Qesankh Keparu with another exciting video for you. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to be a high value man or woman. But before I get into that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. Also, if you're interested in knowing more about my spiritual practices, you can scroll down below, click on any one of the links, download the ebooks, and start reading today for free. If you want to, however, take your spiritual knowledge to the next level, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. You decide. You can cancel at any time. And you'll get exclusive access to instructional videos on the esoteric, videos that teach you how to meditate, how to summon spirits, evocation, how to connect with the ancestors, how to do self-hypnosis, and how to work with the oracles, divination. And if you are on a SARE level supporter, you'll get all your oracle readings for free. So become a Patreon supporter. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. Haroon Nefer, how are you? So I want to talk to you a little bit about becoming a high value man or woman. And it's something that's really taking off now on the internet. People are really talking about it. A lot of dating coaches are getting into the details of this. And if you're not familiar with it, let me try to explain. So, we've had some dating coaches come out and talk about how women should be dating high value men. And the way they classify this is in several categories, but chief among that is the fact that these men make over $100,000 a year. They've been making it for a period of like 6 years. And these are the top percentile, the top elite men that women are competing against. So he's, several of these dating coaches are educating women on how to get with these type of men, what they need to do. And I think in many ways it can be very favorable because these dating coaches are what's taking off on what we call the manosphere, is that these coaches are really talking to women and having these really good conversations, and they're getting insight as to what men want, what they need to do in terms of getting fit, getting more culture, getting less aggravated and angry, just revamping themselves to be ready for these types of relationships with these high value men. But there's also a negative side to this, and I wanted to kind of talk about that. And this is the fact that, I don't want to get too much into detail about how in the African community, the African American community, there are very few African American men who make $100,000 or more a year. Most often we'll see, I think the median income is around $42,000. And when we start looking at this idea of high value men that women want, it could be dangerous in terms of getting into materialism and gold digging, that these women are only looking at these men and what these men can buy for them, or lifestyle. Now, we know that by nature, and there's nothing wrong with saying this, that women are hypergamous. So they're always monkey branching between a more higher value male. This is just built into their DNA. And men are more visual, and they look for a woman who's fit and trim and who's agreeable and all those things of nature, who can help with bringing his legacy to fruition by having children and things like that. But you guys are so on it, boy. You are right. You just hit it on the nail. 20-second hexagram situation. Oh my God. You guys are good. You guys are good. Oh my Lord. So a 20-second hexagram talks about the best of both worlds, the form and the function. All right. So I don't want women to really just focus on the fact that it's all about materialism. It's all about getting a man who makes over $100,000. That there are other things that make you into a high value man or woman. It's not all about income. It's not all about looks. and how one carries themselves. It's a lot to do with the innate character of a person and what they're doing. And sometimes a high value man can be a man who is aspiring to be great and working towards that goal. That could be a high value man. Now, I want to go into this because there are some peculiar things that I want to clear up in regards to this high value man thing. And I'll get into the whole high value woman thing as well. You know, I hear the talk about these high value men who are in high-powered boardrooms, who are CEOs and things of that nature. That's a fallacy. You know, if any dating coach is talking to you about how these high-value men are in high-power board meetings and they're CEOs, then that individual is putting on a facade, because I'm in tech. And, you know, if you are not aware of my program at Six Figure PM, check it out at the sixfigurepm.com, where I train people to be both men and women project managers, digital project managers, building websites, doing virtual reality, doing animation, doing email campaigns, banner campaigns, social media campaigns, all kinds of fun stuff. Now, the Six Figure PM literally means that as a digital PM or digital producer, you're going to be making six figures. So technically that qualifies you to be a high value man or woman, a high value man. But you're not going to be a CEO. You're not going to be sitting in high powered board meetings. So this fantasy that some of these dating coaches are talking about, where you have these six figure men who are masters of the universe and high powered, that's just smoke and mirrors. That's just a way to entice you or to lure you in so they can get you to pay attention to what's going on. And I understand what they're doing, because that's like the carrot on the stick. They use that as a means to get your attention so they can talk about the real issues, which is like a lot of African-American women need to lose weight. They need to get more fit. They need to eat better, you know, things of that nature. So, you know, I totally get that, but I want you to understand that when you're looking at people like Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, and all these individuals who wore just jeans and t-shirts or shirts, they weren't wearing suits, Armani suits. They weren't wearing the top colognes and in high-powered board meetings. They weren't doing that. Now, I've been in a lot of board meetings, or brainstorm meetings, as we call them in the tech industry, with people who make over $200,000, and no one's there with suits. You know, there's not this perceived lifestyle that these dating coaches are trying to pretend exists. We're not walking around as high-powered men, or not high-powered men, but six-figure high-value men. We're not walking around in suits and having these exclusive meetings, and we're not CEOs. There are so many people who are in the tech industry making lots of money, who are sitting at their messy desks, eating gummy bears, drinking coffee, overweight. And these people are making $200,000-300,000 a year. So that shatters the image of the high-powered man. And these tech guys are not sitting in these meetings. I want you to understand this, to get this out of the way, because they're deceiving you in a way. Or, see, if you are in that field, if you're in that arena like I am, and you know what it's all about. Like I was recently in a casino, standing next to the billionaire who built the casino, and him and I are having a discussion because I'm shooting a commercial for him. And he's asking me, what angle am I going to shoot next? Now, that's not no high-powered, high-value man meeting. You know what I mean? This person is just putting this, you know, or these people, these dating coaches are just putting this facade on. And the women are running to it, and they're eating it up, thinking this is how it is, but it's not. When I'm working in the tech field as a project manager, many six-figure people, men and women, are walking in wearing the clothes they wore last night because they stayed at the agency all night working. And they're not smelling too good either. Steven Spielberg, one of the richest directors there is, wears baggy jeans, and well, not baggy jeans, but ripped jeans and t-shirt. He's not dressed in a European suit with a Rolex. Let's get these notions out of our heads so that women aren't gold digging. They're not chasing clouds or castles in the sky. I want you to understand that. And the amount of money you make is in proportion to how much you spend, your debt ratio, and where you live. So if you have if you have high debt, if you live in a very expensive city, like say for example Tokyo or New York, well, that six-figure that you think you make is really going to be more like $50,000 or $40,000 that you actually take home after you're paying off everything. So let's just put everything in perspective here. You're not going to be jet setting. You know what I mean? And only the top elites, the CEOs, which they announce, like CEO of Visa, MasterCard, they announce in your financial magazines, they're the ones that may be sitting in high-powered board meetings deciding the fate of the company. You making $200,000 is not, you're not going to be sitting in the meeting, high-powered meeting, deciding the fate of the company. You're just going to be still an employee. May not have stock options. So I just want to put that in perspective so you understand that, so that these dating coaches don't lead you astray. And I'm not saying that they're intentionally doing it. As I said before, let me clarify. I think they're using that as a carrot on the stick to start the conversation of you aspiring to be more, to go for more. Because many in our communities are complacent. We're happy where we're at, and we're not doing anything. And this is why I saw an opportunity due to the racial wealth gap, which talks about how white people, by and large, make much more money than we do, even though we may have college degrees, and they may only have a high school diploma. So I'm trying to even that out by telling you there is an industry of digital project managers that is high in demand and pays a lot. And I'm encouraging people to explore opportunities in that field because it can change your life. It can bump you up to the so-called high-value man or high-valued woman. Let me see if I can bring this up so I can show you guys what I'm talking about here, so you can just get an idea of what's going on. Let me just see if I can share this. I'm going to go to my program's website, the Six Figure PM. All right, and I'm going to show you some of the images here. All right, that's a project manager. I don't see him dressed in a nice suit in some board meeting. Let's take a look. All right, there's another project manager, and there I don't see any suits. You know, they're just brainstorming. There's a group there. There's a team that as a project manager you will be you would be managing, but where's the high-powered meeting? There's no high power. It's a brainstorm session. You know, we have those often. You know, so I want you, and here's some of the companies you could work for. This is another project manager working from home with his doggy, cute doggy. But there's this perception that if you're making over $100,000, you're in this very corporate, well-dressed arena. It doesn't work that way. Here's some individuals at an ad agency, very creative, very relaxed, you know, many making 80,000, over 100,000, you know, to over 100,000. So, if you're interested, please sign up. There's still time for the six-figure PM, where we help you get a job in the project management field, making six figures. Relax. Look, everybody has here just casual attire, So I just want you to understand that that this whole idea, our notion of being this high-powered person, is a facade. So let's get that straight. I don't want women to get in their head that they're going to be gold diggers or chasing these men because these men are going to have this extraordinary amount of money and power. It doesn't work that way. That's not the real world. So if you have a say in the direction of the company, it's either your company or you have somehow managed to break through the glass ceiling or break through and become a part of the elite of the elite, because there still is a lot of racism and sexism preventing individuals from reaching the top echelon. And if you get there, you got there because you were screened heavily and you meet certain criteria, meaning you're not going to be hiring other minorities. Oops, did I say that? They usually select very specific individuals that they know won't rock the boat. If they know Qesankh is a maverick and he comes in there and he's going to hire a bunch of Hispanic and Asian and Latino and Black, they're not going to promote me to CEO. They're not going to do that, because it changes the dynamic of the company. And that puts the power of the company into a different group, not the white group, but I digress on that. You see, do you know what high value is? I remember when I was working for an ad agency and they asked me to put together a process document for SEO. And I got sick and had to go to the hospital for about a week or two. And the head of project management called me at the hospital and apologized and asked me if I could edit the document, because I was the only one that knew much about that arena, the SEO, and it pertained to that specific website. And I agreed. I said, yeah, just send me the document, FedEx it over to the hospital, and I'll edit it and finish it, and you could submit it for the review. And I did that. That's becoming a high value person. You see, that's high value. When you are in demand and you have a specific knowledge, and when you're not easily replaceable, then you can start looking at yourself as a high valued person. You understand? When I was, and this happened the other day, I was teaching a student when we were walking down the street how to hypnotize somebody. So I told him to look at this person, look at them directly in the eye, make eye contact and hold the gaze and walk directly towards them. And I guarantee you they won't look away. Just keep holding the gaze and you'll start to put them in an alternate state of consciousness. And as I'm doing that, he was amazed and that it worked. And I realized that that's a coveted knowledge. Not everybody has that information. That's high value. It's not about how I look and what type of car I drive or what board meeting I'm in or what girl I have, even though I have a sexy Latina. She's cute. But it's not about those things. Those things are ornaments, and they don't make you the man or woman you are. When you start to, when I got on programs, I was coming on these YouTube programs doing interviews, some with panels. And when I would talk about hypnosis as a form of therapy, many people didn't know what the hell I was talking about and were laughing. They were like, hypnosis? And then I began to realize there's a lot of ignorance within our communities. And when you start to go for more and you start to learn these things, you become more high value. Like Aleister Crowley is high value. He has specific knowledge in the occult. Madame Blavatsky Um, I'm sorry, I mispronounced her name. But she has coveted knowledge. Madame Blavatsky. I apologize, Madame Blavatsky. Okay. She has a coveted occult knowledge. That's high value woman. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that you have a tailor-made suit. That's not what makes you who you are. Many times it's about the energy within you. Are you a type of person who's a personality type, meaning that you go for more, you challenge yourself, you're a leader, you're a mover and a shaker? That's a high value person because you're going somewhere. You're going to become somebody. You're not going to sit down and be complacent. But too many times we keep looking at externals and we fall victim to that. And many times it's just smoke and mirrors. It doesn't get us anywhere, especially when it comes to relationships. You see the rappers counting money, flaunting it, making it rain. Well, the most wealthiest people in the world don't count money. They don't carry cash. But we tend to become discombobulated when we see somebody counting money as if they have real money. And it's not that I'm trying to redefine this whole thing of high value, but I want to kind of put it in perspective and set expectations of what that really should mean. If you read the story of the Great Gatsby, he went most of his life trying to achieve wealth and achieved it in a very dubious way. He didn't come from money. And those around him who are high cultured and came from money constantly reminded him that you're not really cultured. But if you're the type of person who's self-made, and if you lose it, who said that? They said, if I lose it all today, I would make it back tomorrow, because it's what is within me and not what's around me that makes me. So I want you to consider that and think about that, because that's important. Because too many times in our communities, we look at style over substance. We're so caught up in form and not function. 20-second hexagram. And that's how we become manipulated very easily and let off the cliff. I want to thank you for tuning in. This is Qesankh Ma-Keperu, son of Ma and Tahuti. Ma is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, Amun Ra.